A member of the House Oversight Committee, Jim Jordan, joins me now. Congressman, straightforward, simple question. Was any crime committed?
Well, I think John Brennan definitely, well, I don't know, but it looks like John Brennan wasn't square with Congress when he testified. If you go back and look at when Trey Gowdy was asking him questions a couple Congresses back, specifically about the dossier. So I think there's a problem there. But in a big picture sense, what you have is they changed the intelligence community assessment. So they manipulated and changed what the intelligence community said, and it was done after a meeting in the White House. So this goes all the way to the top. This goes to the White House, to the Situation Room. December 9th, they have this meeting. They decide not to accept what the intelligence community, the professionals have brought forward, and President Obama says we're going to do something different. And that leads to a whole series of events. I think one of the key ones, Stuart, was what happened on January 6, 2017, when Comey, Clapper, and Brennan go to Trump Tower to brief President-elect Trump. President-elect Trump thinks this is the defensive briefing that all incoming presidents are going to get. He has no idea that it's really a setup, because they go up there and they talk to him about the dossier that they already know is false, and then they leak that information to the press. The press then covers it, gives it credibility, because the press says, wow, if Jim Comey, FBI director, thinks it's important enough to tell the president, there must be something there. All the while, the FBI already knows the dossier is garbage. So that all happened, and now we're seeing what this manipulation and this changing of the intelligence community assessment. That's why I think it's so appropriate that Tulsi brought this forward, and Pam Bondi's putting together this strike force to dig into it and find out if, in fact, there was a crime.
Yeah, and I can understand why the president is so angry about what happened all those years ago. He has every right to be angry about this. Change the subject here. Today, former Chief of Staff Ron Klain, he's going to testify on Biden's mental acuity. Now, we've seen other officials plead the fifth on every question. How are you going to get the truth if all you get is people pleading the fifth?
I think it's likely that Mr. Klain asserts some privilege today as well. I think the way you can get to the truth is if you actually have a whistleblower come forward. Short of that, I think it's tough. Now, we all know the truth. We know he wasn't up for the task. I mean, frankly, even the Democrat Party knew he wasn't up for the task. That's why they asked him to step down or forced him to step down. So everyone understands what took place here. But short of a whistleblower coming forward and saying, yes, we signed things, the auto pin signed things that we had no authorization to sign, but someone else told us to do it, even though President Biden hadn't. And short of that, I think it's difficult to actually prove what we all suspect, which was other people were, in fact, in charge of the Biden White House.
It's all looking backwards. That's a problem. Looking back to Biden's decline and looking back at what Obama did with the President Trump. Are we in danger of getting investigation fatigue?
Well, if no one's ever held accountable, I think there's a frustration level out there. I hear it from constituents. I hear it from people all over the country. So I do think there's that concern. But it's important to point these things out so they don't happen in the future. I mean, understand this. The FBI in 2016, 2017 used the dossier to spy on President Trump, used the dossier to undermine his presidency when they knew that was false. Fast forward 4 years later in 2020, they allow this false narrative about the Hunter Biden laptop being a Russian information operation. The 51 intel officials who signed that, including Brennan and Clapper, some of the same guys who were at play. So twice they let something false out there that the American people accepted. That is just as wrong as it gets.
Got it.
Excuse me.
Okay, Congressman Jim Jordan, thanks so much for being with us. I know we'll see you again soon. Thank you, sir.